I don't know, man. We using our trump card on this guy. I don't know, man.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't think he was happy about it either. But goddamn it,
it is what it is. You can't go out by yourself, so it is exactly what it is.
I'm leaving here with something, damn it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ace, and that's McMillian. And today, we're going to be continuing our coverage of the Shibuya incident arc with episode 67.5 today. But of course, before we get to all that, if you'd like to join me, my friend McMillian, as we discuss all things anime, sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. With that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody, welcome back for another week. How you doing today, McMillian?
I am doing phenomenal. Let's get this going.
All right, doing good. So just quick council announcements, everybody. So last week we did say that this week was supposed to be our Netflix anime review, but I do apologize, we got our dates mixed up, so it's going to be the next week we're going to be coming back with our Netflix anime review, and we're going to be doing Good Night World. So I know I was saying we didn't know what it was last time, but we officially know now. We're going to be reviewing Good Night World, so you can look forward to that next week. But all right, so let's just go ahead and get into this episode review, starting this off with JJK. So
yes.
Before we do get into this JJK episode, I would be remiss if we did not mention the situation that's going on right now with the animators. So we got to talk about this first. So,
yep.
If you've been paying attention, or you've been around online, if you're in the anime verse, if you will, the Mappa animators, it seems like they have not been being treated very well. It seems like they've been having some poor working conditions over there. As far as not as far as is to the extent of sometimes it's getting the episodes aren't being done until the day of supposed to be for release, which is crazy. What do you think so far about the crazy Mappa situation that's going on?
No one I think should be made to crunch that like to the point where you not releasing stuff to like hours before they air it. That's crazy to think about. I mean, and people have always made jokes because of how much, Mappa, how many animes Mappa is like, oh, we're going to take this to animate for this season. That like they ain't letting them people see their family. And now I just feel like that shit, that's not jokes no more.
It's not jokes no more. It was for real. Like we thought we was all making jokes about it, but it seems like it was partially not a joke, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's wild to think about, because there was a thing on Twitter, I think, even after this episode released, where they were like, this didn't have as much in it as they wanted it to, or wasn't as polished as like they expected to, which I'm like, that's insane considering how well this episode did.
Thank you. I was about to say, think about what you just said. They said this episode wasn't as polished as they wanted it to be, and this episode was fucking phenomenal. Think about that statement now. Like, come on, man. Like, that means we basically already just got a 10 out of 10 episode with this. If I didn't say before, we're reviewing episode 42, Thunderclap Part 2. But it's basically already a 10 out of 10 episode, and you mean to tell me it could have gotten even better? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, just listen, Mappa, I don't know what y'all got going on, but let them animators do their work. Let them do their work. Give them time to do their work as well.
Yeah.
Because because that's how we got some talented animators over there at Mappa, because there's no sense that we're getting this type of quality and they have been on a crunch. That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. So as good as it is though, but we'd be remiss also not to mention, so it seems like the animators are, due to their work conditions and stuff like that, that they have gone on strike at Mappa Studios.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Like, yeah, these where I'm hearing this from is, I don't know. Did you hear from an official source? I'm just hearing, like, I've seen conversation about it on Twitter. So
it's different conversations here and there. I haven't seen any official source just yet, but of course, we're going to stay on top of this. And if it does, we hear some official sources, or if it gets bigger than what it is, we'll let you know, because I mean, some of the people, animators, they've been talking about how the next few episodes might start getting delayed and stuff like that. So I mean, things are getting serious here.
Yeah. So like if we stop or suddenly slow down on the JJK coverage, it's probably you. Well, I mean, you'd also be aware because if you're watching,
JJK, yeah, you'll know
and then
what's
all of a
going
sudden
on.
it stops. Yeah. But we'll also try to stay close to this because it's. I mean, with this being the anime right now of the season, I feel like it's just crazy to think that like the people making it aren't getting a fair shake, which is just that's.
I
tough.
agree. I agree
So
100%. So Mappa, I don't know what needs to be done over there, but y'all need to get it right. Treat those animators well, man. They are putting out too much good shit for y'all to be treating these people like that, man. Come on now.
yeah.
Even if they weren't putting out good quality shit like that, they're still humans.
Yeah.
Like, nobody deserves to be treated like that. So I'm about to say, let me just start there. Let me get that across. If it was just making it seem like I only cared about it because they was putting out good shit. No, nobody deserves to be treated like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right. So with all that being said, once again, we'll stay on top of this situation. We'll keep you guys, covered on what's going on over there at Mappa. But we do want to get into the episode now.
Yes.
So episode 42. So we already stated how phenomenal this freaking episode was, but I want to touch up on at the very beginning. We was talking about this last episode, how you mentioned, Gojo was telling Megami about the thing what happened with the Gojo clan. Well, we got that explanation today in this episode, deeper explanation.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was like, did I accidentally spoil something? Like, did I get spoiled and I retroactively spoiled other people? Which if it was the case, I do apologize. I really thought that that had come before because people were talking about it as if it had come before.
Happened,
but that could have been manga readers, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't know. So. But
yeah,
I do like how they presented it in a way because of like where we cut off from last episode was like the we found out that the summoning had already happened, like the ritual or whatever, but like we actually got to see Megami, like the full explanation of just like how the Gojo clan and the thing happened, and then the actual execution, which my God, the way they presented it was amazing. You got to see all the animals, and then all of a sudden, the hand pop up and like.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because like I didn't. It also because I didn't catch on it at first. I didn't realize until after I had watched the episode like 3 or 4 times. But this was the move that he was gonna do when he fought Sukuna the first time. It just hit me, and I was like, damn, what he probably would have caught Sukuna like in that first time.
But it's funny. So in our docket, you put like season 1, episode 5, but if you go online and you like look up pictures, so the stance Megumi takes that when he summons Mahoraga is like this. He's done that stance actually a couple times throughout season 1. Yeah. So when I
went back and confirmed it because he said the same beginning line with the sacred treasure swinging ring that he said that same line in the season 1 as well. So I mean this was it.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's a couple of instances where he gets prepared to do it. So like I think when Yuji first eats the finger, he's about to do it, but he sees that Gojo came, so he stops. Another instance is when he fought Toji, and people love to point this one out because it was like, why was he ready to risk his life to fight Toji? he did it, and I think probably the most obvious one is when he fought the Finger Bearer, like right before he did domain expansion. He was about to do it because he didn't think he could win, and then he was like, and then he did this, fuck it, and he tried his domain
that shit was hilarious because I've seen a meme online. Everybody was like, anytime Megami faces adversary, he's getting ready to pull that shit out. Which I thought about. I was like, hey, that's kind of he really has been willing to pull that shit out a few times, which is crazy to think about.
So that was,
oh man.
It's just funny to see that because after now seeing what the fuck that was, it's like, bro, calm down.
Come on, like, bro, what do you? This has to be last resort right here. Like, this is last resort type of situation. And even when I figured out, like, after he even did it, I still thought to myself, you pulled this shit out for the blind guy, my guy? Like, really?
I mean, granted, the I will give him the excuse on this part only because, like, he got caught. After fighting his dad, he got caught off guard and ran through. So it was like, look, if I'm going to die,
I
you
guess
coming
if
with
I'm
me,
going to
bitch.
die,
Like,
bitch, I'm taking you with me. But
you with me?
um, I don't know, man. We using our trump card on this guy. I don't know, man.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't think he was happy about it either. But goddamn it,
it is what it is. You can't go out by yourself, so it is
exactly
what it is.
I'm leaving here with something, damn it.
I feel you 100%. But so to get to a little bit, get to a little bit of the lore for the 10 shadows. So, and now it also explains why we didn't see these raps before. So, no, Megami explains that he actually has to subjugate these shadows, kind of similar to how, with Black Clover, how if you want a demon possession, you actually got to subjugate the demons and stuff like that, and make a pact with them, things like that. He didn't mention if he has to make a pact with them after he subjugates them. He just mentioned, he has to subjugate them. Which once again, which explains why we didn't see the bunnies in season 1, because he hasn't subjugated that Shikigami yet.
Yeah, the only Shikigami he doesn't have to subjugate are the dogs. Everybody, you start with the dogs, and everything else you have to fight, basically.
Yeah. And so, and he goes to mention that the one that he summoned, the Moraga, nobody that had ever had the 10 shadows technique was ever able to subjugate this guy. He even goes to even explaining about how far as when during the ritual he can do the rituals as many times as he wants, which is crazy to think about. But I guess you have to, because how else are you gonna subjugate these things? You fail the first time, try again later on when you're stronger. He mentions that when you're doing the ritual, that other people can do it with you, but if you do it with other people, the ritual is null and void afterwards. Like even if you do it successfully, like end up subjugating them successfully, it's still null and void because you didn't do it by yourself. So you have to go about and doing this by yourself, which makes me think this is ridiculous. How is anybody besides a motherfucker like Sukuna supposed to even beat him? Which, like,
I don't know.
I like the thing. I'm even thinking about, like, I guess how I was thinking about the one way that a person with the 10 shadows technique would subjugate this is like they have to have all previous 9 first, because that's what will be the only way, right? You have to get as strong as you can get, so you have to subjugate all previous 9 first, and then some way somehow, I don't know, duke it out with all 9 and beat this man. I don't know. But you have to figure it out.
But it's so interesting because we found out during that itself though is interesting, or I could see why they couldn't. Someone who previously had it couldn't do that.
Yeah,
because it's like the cursed spirit itself, Mahoraga, the Shikigami that he summons.
Yeah,
its ability is to adapt
to anything.
To anything, and so it's like even if I jump you with these 9 other shadows, you're
just gonna adapt to the 9 shadows. So it's like, what am I possibly gonna do? So it's like, on top of that, he has to know some different shit on top of like what he already knows with the 9 techniques and stuff like that. Maybe if a person who would know that has a fully mastered domain expansion, who knows the 10 shadows technique, plus now he got his 9 shadows, plus he knows domain expansion, maybe that's enough to take down Moraga. I don't know,
potentially.
Because we still haven't really seen what was Megami's full domain extension just yet.
Yeah, the perfection of Shadow Garden. We don't know what that is. So only time will tell. It's what happens, I guess. Like if we will even see Mahoraga get subjugated.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's any much more to say to that. But Sukuna versus Mahoraga. That my fucking god.
Straight eye candy. These motherfuckers. First of all, if you would have told me we would have got another Sukuna fight right after we just got Sukuna versus Jogo, I would have told you were fucking crazy. I wouldn't have believed you.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't have believed you.
And then to be animated even better,
even better than the Sukuna versus Jogo shit. Like, what? It's ridiculous. And so, throughout the Sukuna versus Moraga fight, we get more detailed explanations on some of Sukuna's technique, mainly his slicing and dicing, really.
So just to be aware, that was also wrong in subtitles. His actual technique is called cleave and dismantle.
Okay, cleave and dismantle. Okay, because
Yeah,
inside the inside the Crunchyroll subtitles was called fillet and dissect. So,
yes,
but the proper terms are cleave and
cleave and
dismantle.
dismantle.
Okay, got you. And so with the proper terms, cleave and dismantle. Cleave being attacks with no slicing the text that attacks anything with curse energy, and dismantle. No, once again, slice the text attacking anything without curse energy. We found that out today. So two
Yep.
separate attacks: one for attacking things with curse energy, and one for attacking things without curse energy. And these things also, these slices also seem to be a little bit invisible, but this is where I want to get into one of my Sukuna theories as far as his power techniques. I think those slashes that he are doing are mini black flashes
Mm.
because, as we all
What makes you
know,
think that?
because I feel like from when I'm watching from when I was watching the episode, if you know, as you know, Moraga starts to adapt to the slices and stuff, you also, the viewers, you start to see some of Sukuna slices attacks, right? And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
they're black essentially, like they're dark, they look like shadows and stuff like that. And it's almost like, at least to me, like when he's fighting Moraga, he's also disordering space in some instances as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured maybe there are a little bit of black flashes because, as we know, the Black Flash, because the Black Flash is when they release the curse energy to some trillionth tenth of a second, it distorts space, and then, you know, the energy is released.
Yeah, and it boosts the basically the damage that it will
And
cause.
then
Okay.
also while I thought about that, because, you know, Toji, when we're getting explained Black Flash, Toji explaining it like, you know, this is one of the pinnacle things of jujutsu sorcery. Why wouldn't Sukuna know something like that and be able to spam something like that? You know what I mean? Because he also, you know, Toji goes to mention like, you know, I don't know anybody who can do Black Flash more than one time a day. Well,
Well, it's
Sukuna
like
could probably do that because we figured out this episode Sukuna can do some different shit with his domain expansions that nobody else can do
that.
already.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. That shit was
Yeah, we're
crazy,
gonna get to that. But
but that's it's okay. So that's interesting. I don't doubt that that could be potentially like what he's doing is harnessing like basically what Black Flash is in the slashes. That's interesting though, only because I thought like it had to be a physical connection for Black Flash, but if it's not the case, that's crazy still.
I mean, well, we don't know if it necessarily has to be a physical connection because, you know, once again, it's a release of cursed energy, so it might not necessarily have to be physical.
Physical, yeah.
It's just that
I'm just saying like
Itadori is, you know, left and right, so
the left, right, good night. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying because the only people they showed they said like that had like they felt like they had mastery over Black Flash or like that were just crazy good at doing it are Yuji and Nanami, both
and
very
Gojo.
physical fighter. Yeah, yeah, and Gojo. But I guess we haven't seen Gojo do it. But I was just saying our test cases are like our two most specific ones. Yuji and Nanami are both very physical fighters. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not like distant. So that's why I was like, maybe.
And then
But
also, now this is getting to crazy territory right here. Now, I was also thinking that as well, because maybe it also, that the reason that plays into his, what I think might be his reverse curse technique with the Fuga, the flames. I think that might be
mhm.
his reverse curse technique. And I think, you know, maybe how that is, you know, brought about. We know you got to smash your two techniques together, you know, and the two negative energies make it positive. And that isn't exactly how you do it, but turn your negative
Mhm.
energy into positive energy. So maybe,
Do
you
you
know, he
think it may
puts
be
his cleave and dissect and what was called cleave and what, dismantle,
together?
yeah, together,
Cleveland
and it's
dismantle.
like, and since they're black flashes and they're distorted in space, it's like he's opening, kind of like how I said early last time, he's opening another dimension into another realm. But maybe this is like a flame one. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but maybe not that far. But maybe Fuga is his reverse curse technique though,
That'd be interesting.
unless
That
it's
because
something totally separate.
yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. My thing is, I'm still wondering if it's like because he says a keyword or something when he does it.
Yeah,
If it's like some type of like release state where he just gains different abilities,
yeah.
specifically. But that would be interesting if we found out that reverse curse technique can do more than just heal. Because I thought it was purely just like instead of harming, healing with and only one
Well, no,
person.
because Hollow Purple is Gojo's reverse curse technique, so we know we can do more
Is
than
it? Does he
just
call it?
that.
Does he call it reverse curse technique? I thought he called it
Yeah,
like.
because
I
remember,
thought it was like hit.
we got the official explanation in the hidden inventory arc. He was like, "Now this is my reverse, no, my reverse curse technique, Hollow Purple."
Huh. Okay, I thought it was just a clashing of red and
Yeah,
blue.
red and blue, two negatives made the positive, Hollow
Positive.
Purple.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But like for instance, red is called reversal because it repels. It's not like a reverse curse
Well,
technique
yeah,
though.
it's just called
Specifically.
reversal, but it wasn't. I don't think that was his reverse curse technique, though. If I'm not mistaken, Hollow
Yeah, that's
Purple
all.
was his reverse curse technique.
Reverse curse. Okay. We will have to look back at that because I personally don't think that's the case. But if it is, that's interesting because I legitimately I just thought it was for healing purposes, was it? But if that is the case, maybe I would be more on your side with the fire. The fire comes from that then.
The Fuga being his reverse curse technique. Yeah, I don't know. We still got some explaining to do on that,
but I mean
um,
that's with Cleave and Dismantle though. That's interesting because like maybe so Mahoraga being a thing that adapts to it. The fact is like he started to be able to like Sukuna pointed out. He's starting to be able to see Cleave and Dismantle and being able to
because also like think about it, like besides like if it wasn't distorting space or something like that, for you not to be able to see the slashes, the motherfuckers just have to be extremely fast, you know what I mean? And we know a black flash is extremely fast, is the 10th of a trillisecond, something like that, whatever, something like crazy number it was. So that would also explain it why you couldn't see his slashes if they are consistent of a black flash, you know what I mean? Because they're just that fast.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, it's good. It's spot on. I don't think that's a bad theory. We'll have to just wait and see, like, when next time Sukuna comes out, if they'll even give us more of an explanation on his technique.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. But then now, now I want to get into the next nitty gritty, because now we're getting into different levels of domain expansion, and where we're starting to see we're going back to the territory where Sukuna mentions how he's truly gonna show us what Jujutsu sorcery is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can truly cast your domain without enclosing it in its own enclosed space, then that bypasses the step where you have to do your domain struggle, right? Because if I don't have to make my own enclosed space to struggle against your domain, I can essentially just cast my domain within your domain.
Well, but that's the interesting thing. They've only explained that it doesn't have a border that's an enclosed space, but they don't say like if it if you still do a struggle or not, because Mahoraga has no domain, so it's kind of like how
I
do
feel you. But yeah.
it's not like it can combat it. So I don't know if I want to say that specific, if that's true.
Well,
yet,
that's my theory, at least right now. We, like you said, we don't have confirmation on it, but like this, at least that's the theory I'm going with, because it's crazy. I love the narrator. I love the narrator for this season, because as our boy is releasing his domain expansion, he's the narrator comes in and starts explaining like Sukuna can do a different for his domain expansion. He can cast his domain without enclosing it in his own separate space. Truly a divine feat. It's like painting art on a canvas in thin air. Like crazy. And then like how they visualized it, it's like they painted a fucking canvas for that scene, which is fucking crazy. Like, oh my gosh, like just the animators popped off with this episode. Mappa, give them what the fuck they want. Whatever the fuck they want, give it to them.
Yeah, basically. But like it's interesting because but like the coolest thing to me, or wildest thing to me, is that his thing covers because it has no like
enclosure.
Borders.
Yeah.
Yes, a Malevolent Shrine can cover up to 200 meters, and
ridiculous.
he can reduce the range
if by as much as he wants to. Yeah,
he wants to, because he was like, oh, Megami would still, if I did the full 200, Megami would have got killed, right?
Yeah,
and he didn't want that to happen, so he reduced it to, I forgot what they
140.
said, 140, and decimated everything within that range. It got deleted. and we saw flashes of everything.
Thank you. And then in that scene, the slashes, they're black in that scene as well. And then they're the outside around him is red, kind of similar to when Yuji did his black flash is like black and red. That was another reason why I also thought maybe there were many black flashes.
I mean, again, like I said, it's a good theory. I am really interested to see as the series goes on, like if once we get more explanation, if that is correct, because I don't think that to be wrong, but that it's crazy to think about like all the destruction that happened in that fucking instance, and Mahoraga was just walking through that shit to the point where he was like, all right, I gotta fucking pull up the fire arrow.
He was like, gotta go ahead and sit you down real quick.
Yeah, this shit was insane. And then
like
to
he's
Go
not
ahead.
even at full strength yet, which is even
Mhm.
crazier to think about. This is just 15 fingers. We know there's still 5 more. Then now I also just thought about it. 20 fingers means 4 hands. So this means, regular Sukuna actually had 4 hands and not just 2. So now
Yeah.
we're talking about slices times 2. You know what I mean? So
I mean, if it is dependent on his hands, which I don't know if it is, simply because when he killed that one girl,
Mhm.
he dissected her into multiple pieces.
Yeah.
And so it's like I think it could be. I don't know if it's even dependent on his hands, but hey, regardless, destruction abound. And there's something I wanted to point out. So in the flashes, I don't know if you caught it, but like in the
Mhm.
flashes of the episode, when he like right before everything got decimated,
Mhm.
I don't know. Did you notice that Inumaki was in the radius of Malevolent Shrine?
No, who's Inumaki again?
The I believe, if I'm saying his name correctly, curse speech.
Oh, him. Yes. Okay, I did realize that. Yeah, because when because we go to a scene where there's some civilians talking about, yeah, the boy with the microphone is gonna protect us, and then we go to him, and then you just see the big flash of fire, and I was like, so yeah, destruction. So
And
not you mention it.
I was legit like, oh no,
Yeah,
no.
now that you mention it, he might not be doing too good. I didn't think about that at first, but yeah, he was in that radius. He was in the radius. He was there.
Yeah. So Inumaki might be gone, and we won't know until
Unless he was just outside that 140. Maybe, I don't know, but
see, the problem is they showed him, and they talk about, and they had people who clearly died.
Yeah.
Shown in like in the thing. So like the hope hopefully is that somehow maybe he was at the edge and could have survived. But right now, it's that boy on a t-shirt in my mind. Now,
yeah. Hey, listen, I'm with you on that 100%. He might be on a t-shirt, but then after that. After Sukuna completely finishes evaporating Moraga here, it's time for Itadori to switch back. Itadori is actually fine. He done caught up event finally. It took him long enough, but he done caught up.
Yeah.
And we get a scene where Itadori essentially Sukuna puts Itadori in front of the crater that he made after killing Momoraga, and vaporizing essentially a part of the city, a part of Shibuya, right? And our boy Itadori breaks down. Now I want to ask you a question. Now during that breakdown scene, they played the specials intro. Do you like that or not? Do you think that should have went complete silence, or do you not mind them playing the intro there? Because right now there's a lot of discourse going on online about the intro being played during that scene.
Okay, I'm gonna answer your question, but I do want to just talk about that scene right quick.
Okay.
Fuck Sukuna. Oh my god. but also that was some real shit, because from day one this nigga has been Itadori's biggest op, and when he did that shit, I was like, this is the primal hater energy.
Yeah.
That only a demon could provide. In my goodness,
fuck you, my guy. Like, here, you thought you thought shit was gonna be sweet once I took over. No, I did. I took out part of the entire city. It's gone. It's completely gone. Look at it. You have to live with this.
And Itadori was like, I need to die immediately. He felt so bad. I felt that voice actor, Itadori's voice actor. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
all
scene.
That.
It was a beautiful scene.
I felt all that. Now, the song. So I have seen the two camps, and I do somewhat agree with both. I get why they played it, because at the end of the day, I think that was like to really hit home just how much Sukuna did not give a fuck. Not necessarily like the people, but like that scene of Itadori breaking down is, I feel like, encapsulated because special started playing. It really was like, this is the end of the episode,
Hmm.
and while Itadori is going through something extremely emotional, that like it this scene started because Sukuna knew this was going to hurt him so much, and in reality, like his mental health, his consideration toward these people does not matter in the grand scheme of things. There's still
Not
a
at all.
fight going on, and this is still like so I feel like having the song play, it just encapsulates like that moment of, we don't give a fuck about like the world, the person in the demon inside you does not give a fuck about your care. You cannot like, at the end of the day, each like you see it like solidify on his face, like, I have to still keep moving
Yeah.
because it's not gonna, if I stop, it's not gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like, this shit's just gonna mean nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then with it, I get why people wanted nothing to play there,
Hmm.
because that would have I feel like maybe the silence of the thing would have hit hard for people too. But I
No,
don't
I
know.
agree. I agree with that as well.
It's just I don't know. It's depends on how you like do it. I'm very neutral on
I
it,
think
from
I think it
me
really
personally.
depends. Like you said, I really think it depends on how you view it. I'm not neutral. I am more towards I'm glad they did play the intro there, but I do
Hmm.
see the argument for what people are saying. I wish they would have not done the intro, because okay, I can see, like, I'm starting to envision the scene in my head without the intro music. And I was like, okay, well, no, I can see how that would go hard, because we're in this mode where each door is like, I got to kill myself. This is all my fault and all this stuff. And like you said, the delivery from the voice actor, he did a phenomenal job. So like I said, I can see how the scene still would hit with no
Hmm.
intro. But when the music starts playing and then it starts doing the panorama on all the destruction that Sukuna's gonna done, it's just like chef's kiss. I was like, bro, like,
Yeah.
how did I don't know, man. Like, like, because now it's more, like you said, it's hitting on the more of the side, like, look at all the destruction that Sukuna has done. And then I seen one thing where somebody was saying, like, I don't care if the intro is from the perspective of the villain. Well, then that got me thinking. I was like, well, is the intro from the perspective of the villain?
Yeah, I mean that,
Because
and that in that moment, that's how I interpret it. That is basically fuck you, Itadori. You like, at the end of the day, this happened because I'm like, you allow, like, technically you did it. Like, I mean, technically I was the one that pushed it, but I have your body. We in
yeah.
this together. Like, you are
You
my
are my
special, my
special.
nigga.
But then I don't know. But yeah, then you could also possibly think, well, maybe specials from Urume's perspective, because now we don't got him, his perspective, and then we got the
Mm.
introduction to him is from his perspective. Because now, there's a line inside the song intro. I can't remember exactly, but it's like, it goes where, mess everything up. I want you to mess all this stuff up. So
Mhm.
really, that's what I was thinking. Well, who is this? Who is the intro song from perspective of? It really doesn't. We
That
really don't
is
have
it. That
concrete evidence on if it's from Sukuna or not.
Yeah, that is interesting because we now know that Urume, whoever Urume is, he has
Mm-hmm.
a connection with Sukuna, and they possibly made some plan before Sukuna had to go handle Mahoraga. So who who knows what's going on, you know? But I do like to think, like, I think in that moment that that song was from Sukuna's perspective, basically sounding like, Yuji, hey, I might have caused this, but you enabled it. Like, you are my hands, like, you are my special, basically.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It was, me personally, like I said, it was a nice touch in my opinion. I'm actually glad they did put it in there, but like I said, I can see for the other camp where looking at it from the perspective of just having that solo Soji Itadori scene with just complete silence. Well, not complete
Yeah,
silence, because
but
he's
like
still talking, but just no
yeah.
background music or anything.
Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see. I can definitely see both. Like I said, both sides. That's why I'm kind of neutral myself. But regardless, amazing episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing episode. And then now I will leave it out with this. Now that we're done with the talking about everything that happened in the episode, um, The intro, the intro has a lot of cool little Easter eggs and stuff in it, and like because I mentioned this back when the Shibuya incident first started because I gave my spoiler warning for everybody like, hey, anime owners, don't watch the intro for real because it got a lot of spoilers in there. But like if you go and you sit down and you actually look at the intro, you just see it tells basically everything that's happening in the Shibuya incident arc. It's freaking crazy.
It's got the because you got that one the middle part of the intro. You see the prison the prison realm box, Megumi's hands going like this, and then the wheel popping up. So
and then you see also in that same scene Gojo doing his domain expansion. It's crazy. And then we got in the intro as well, we see Megumi and Toji pulling up on Megumi as we didn't know who it was at first, but
that's
we know
true.
who it.
Yeah.
By the time Toji actually reveals himself, you can put two and two together. Then at that point, and then some other stuff, and then like at the very end of the intro where they're showing a big shot of Shibuya, and you barely miss it, but in the very center, if you actually look, you have to like look for it. You can see the fucking crater that Sukuna makes. Yes.
No,
I don't know if like they just added that with these intros, and now I'm gonna have to I have to verify that by going back looking at some of the old episodes because sometimes they do update intros like that. But you can see the crater, like it's very small, but like if you look at it, like it's there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then but I will want to ask you this because also this before I forgot because this is relating back to Sukuna's power, and I'm looking at the docket here. I did forget to mention this. Can Sukuna make shit float? Because the first time we seen Sukuna, he was sitting on top of floating rocks and all this shit. And then even in this episode, we saw these floating buildings and stuff like that. And
you mean it in Itadori's mind, like when they were? Because technically, the first time we saw Sukuna is after it was when Itadori. Well, technically, he fought Gojo.
Well, no, when he not that time when he was fighting the Curse Finger, the one that when Sukuna. Right before he took Itadori's heart out of his body, that fight.
Oh, okay. So potentially, the way I thought like the stuff was happening is that just so much destruction with Cleave essentially dismantle. It was just that they were fighting so fast, like stuff didn't have a chance to fall
back down. Maybe
basically,
I don't know because like it was like this one. Because the one shot where you see it's like outside the city, and then you just see like all the rocks and shit floating in the air. It's like right before he does the fuga.
Oh, okay.
And then there's another scene as well before that is some people as well. They look up in the sky and you just see all the buildings and shit floating in the air.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he could potentially do that with maybe some manipulation of curse energy,
which goes back to the storm space. Are these really black flashes that's going on with his pleas and stuff?
I mean, interesting. I would love to see what it is, but like I said, if I had to guess, just based off what I know concretely, maybe it's like him doing something with the distortion of Cleave / dismantle to keep those things in the air.
But you know what else I just thought about? We're talking about how Sukuna is. Sukuna isn't even at full strength. We theoretically haven't seen Gojo at full strength because we don't know what the Six Eyes does. Like he hasn't necessarily done anything with the Six Eyes unless the Six Eyes is like part of his domain expansion or something like that, maybe. But
the Six Eyes, from what we know of how he just basically explained it in the Hidden Inventory arc, the Six Eyes help regulate cursed energy, which is why he's so good at using his other
luminous techniques and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So that's what it. Now, granted, I don't know if it's more than that.
More than just that, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what at least one part of it that we know is that it helps him manipulate cursed energy so well, which is why he can basically at the end of the series
control. Okay, so Sharingan basically, because he can also see cursed energy with it as well.
Mm-hmm. So. I mean, we haven't seen Gojo at full strength yet because he even said, "I believe I can beat Sukuna in a one-on-one fight."
At full strength, he mentioned that at season 1. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
Look, I'm looking forward to when he busts up out that bitch because I know that I already know, not because of Marguerite or anything. That just makes sense. You're gonna bring your greatest. You're gonna bring your greatest asset back to fight the greatest threat. So
of course,
I'm looking forward to when that shit get animated.
But now, like you said, the question is that because like I said, I'm already of the belief that we're gonna not end on a happy note with this arc. So now this is the question on is not Sukuna, is our boy Gojo gonna get out this arc or at a later time?
He's not getting out this arc. I don't think. I don't think after all that shit, I don't think he getting out this arc. Everybody got fucked up, right? Everybody, as far as we know, the only person not totally fucked up is Nobara, and
how much help is she gonna be? Well, I guess technically Itadori as well.
Well, oh yeah, true. Technically, but like he don't know where everybody is. Like that's the problem. That's probably the biggest issue. Like, what's the fuck is going on to Itadori right now? And then Nobara, as far as we know, Nobara is untouched, and Mei's fighting Geto, but we don't know
how that's gonna turn out. Yeah.
So right now, like, and then
Mahito's still running around here, doing guys know what.
Exactly. You got Mahito running around, and
now then that I thought about it, we ain't seen that man in a few episodes.
So exactly. That shit, he probably coming up next. You thought y'all was upset.
Well, yeah, because we know Itadori is on the move now, so I'm pretty sure it's probably about time for Mahito versus Itadori now. It's probably about that time.
Yeah. So.
Then also, I just thought about it. Choso's still around here. He's probably losing his mind somewhere, but he's still around here too, though.
He's exactly. So threats are still abound. It ain't over. I don't think Gojo.
Yeah, no, it's not over. We just lost. Two threats went away, but threats are still around. Sukuna's gone, which is great for everybody, and Toji's gone, which is also great for everybody. So two S level threats are gone, but there's still other S level threats on the field.
Yes. Yeah. So, man, look, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he getting out this thing. I think they would. That would be way too fast.
Well, no, like I said, I wouldn't doubt it either because, like I said, I don't think we're gonna get a happy ending at the end of this arc. So, I'm pretty sure. Listen, it's not gonna be surprised me if Gojo stays sealed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but with that, I mean, we already rated the episode. I think at the beginning, I don't think there's much more.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, hands down. Yeah, hands fucking down.
I ain't really much more I can say to that. So I'm gonna give our weekly recommend close out this,
all right.
This 0.5 episode. So, in the spirit of the holiday in which this episode is most likely releasing on,
of course,
we want to give you a food anime. And this one was recent, but I just felt like it was really good to me, so I just felt like recommended it. Campfire Cooking in Another World. Basically, quick synopsis: Tsuyoshi Mukoda, if I pronounce that wrong, I do apologize, is transported to a fantasy world and discovers his only skill is having free access to an online supermarket. He is summoned along with 3 other heroes, but he himself is not considered to be a hero of the world. So Tsuyoshi Mukudo is basically when he goes around doing kind of his own thing, but technically he was transported with these other heroes in an effort to save this kingdom from a serious threat that they don't know about. And just like all the other OP somewhat useless skills isekais, there's more to his stuff than meets the eye, and he has a very interesting and fun adventure surrounded by food, and you learn about the food that he makes basically just by watching stuff. It's a good time. It's really fun. It's also animated by Mappa, and it's really good. Do check it out. And as always, and as we were talking before, support the animators, and their fight to basically get treated as people.
Yeah, 100%. But back on, but for Campfire Cooking Another World, it did get announced for a season 2. So if that piqued your interest at all, season 2 did get announced for it. So that lets you know it is somewhat decent and it has somewhat of a following. I did not finish the first season, but what I did watch from the first season, I did enjoy it immensely. And it is a good show. And like McMillian said, there is a little bit more to meet your eye with his Amazon ability.
Amazon shopping. With all that, guys, appreciate you as always for watching. If you're listening to us on Spotify or any of the other audio streaming apps, please remember to hit that follow button as well as share us. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like, comment, subscribe, get the bell notification so you know when we're doing other stuff. As always, we are still on the road to 100 subscribers, so please help us out with that. If you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, follow us on our social media. That is at Gurren Otaku Council on Instagram, Facebook, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, that is at Gurren Otakus. As always, everyone, continue to enjoy anime. Hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Peace out, everybody.